11th of May, a burly bum come a-hiking. He was walking down the lane through the sugar cane. He was looking for his liking, and as he strolled along, he sang a song of the land.
Welcome to this episode of Junk Food on the Road. Today we are going to talk about
British Columbia, or more importantly, I guess Vancouver.
We only really went to Vancouver.
I guess so.
And North Vancouver.
Yeah, so Vancouver.
Okay. So, I mean, Vancouver's in Canada, so you have a lot of your regular Canadian stuff. But
like Tim Hortons.
Like Tim Hortons and, you know, the chocolate bars and the chips. And, well, Old Dutch chips are more prevalent in BC than they are in Ontario.
Yeah.
You can get them in Ontario.
Yeah. Do you remember, did the Tim Hortons cups only have English?
I think that the new designs don't have any language on them at all.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was something that we had heard in the past, was that...
Well, I had a cup of coffee in Alberta when it was very obvious, the language on the cups, and I was sort of looking at my cup and it was a little different. And I'm thinking, what is the difference here? And then I realized there was no French on the cups.
Yeah, so just for anybody who's not Canadian who's listening to this, most of our cups for our almost everywhere you go.
Most of everything is bilingual.
Everything is bilingual, so it has French and English because that is...
We have two official languages.
However, the further west you get, there tends to be less French or zero French almost.
Well, at least in Alberta. Alberta is very, like...
Alberta is definitely one of those rules. So what happens is
And Quebec has no English.
And Quebec has no English. So there's sort of there's certain places that sort of steadfast, we're not going to have both languages. So Tim Hortons, which is the sort of national chain, actually made cups that only had English for a certain part. And generally that was out west, obviously not in the east central area. So.
But I didn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Because the new design of the cups, like, it's not obvious.
There's not a lot of language on there anyway.
Yeah, it's like those cool little scratchy pictures.
Yeah. Okay, so
do you want to talk about the PNE first?
I think the PNE is the Pacific National Exhibition, I believe it's called.
Yes. It's like the little sister of the Canadian National Exhibition.
Which is held in Toronto.
Yeah.
We wanted to go to the Canadian National Exhibition because we love going there, and we do that.
We'll call it the X from here on.
We'll call it the X. But we're sort of in this transition thing. We couldn't be there for it, but we were going to be in Vancouver, and we knew the PNE was happening, so we went to that, and
it was pretty exciting.
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty fun. It's a little smaller than the CNE.
Yeah, the X.
The X. But it's still, it was a lot of fun, and we got to try some cool foods.
Yes, we did. Well, let's talk about your traditional foods that you get at the X, starting with Tiny Tom's Donuts.
Yes.
At the PNE, they don't have Tiny Tom's Donuts. Instead, they have multiple companies doing little donuts.
Yes.
And so it's kind of the same, but it's kind of different. Like, we got one at a place called Those Little Donuts, or something like that. Yeah. And then there were like two others that we found throughout the day doing, the same sort of little donuts. And what the little donuts are, for those of you who don't know, is they're basically made while you wait. There's like these little machines, and they dump them in the oil, and you get to sort of watch them come out of the oil all sort of freshly crisped up. And I can't speak for the PNE donuts because we ate all 15 that we got, still hot. But we have both in the past at the X gotten the Tiny Tom's Donuts and saved bits of bags for later and then eaten them cold. And they are super delicious hot, and they suck cold.
It's true.
Yeah, so at the PNE, we couldn't get Tiny Tom's. Tiny Tom's comes in 4 different flavors. You can get plain, sugar, cinnamon sugar, or chocolate powder.
Yeah.
Where we went, you could just get plain or cinnamon sugar. Which
is fine, because actually, generally, Tiny Tom's, cinnamon sugar is one of my go-to flavors.
Yeah. It's if you're with like 3 people, then you'll get like 1 bag of each.
I generally don't like the chocolate.
I like the chocolate. Yeah. Although I love the powdered.
Yeah, the powder's pretty good too.
Like to me, that's my go-to.
Okay. But yeah, so we got the donuts and they were good.
I also like the plain.
They also had a lot of sort of regular carny food.
Yeah.
As does the CNE. Deep fried things are always like, I think at state fairs it's sort of a thing too.
Yeah, deep fried is a thing. They had deep fried coffee.
Yeah, and deep fried Jello.
I didn't try any deep fried coffee. Yeah, the deep fried cheesecake.
Yeah, the thing about
which looked like an egg roll.
Yeah, I think it's like an egg. It's like an egg roll type thing. But deep fried drinks, generally the gimmick is not that you actually get like a puddle of drink inside something or anything like that. It's generally just the batter has.
They soak the batter in.
The
coffee.
liquid in the batter is the liquid. So instead of using water in your batter, you use coffee. That's deep fried coffee.
Yeah.
It's kind of a rip-off. It's kind of looks cool in print, but doesn't really deliver.
What else? The other thing we didn't try was the pork belly, because I actually walked up to somebody who got some of the pork belly and asked to look at it, and it looked kind of dry and not really pork belly-ish at all. It looked sort of more loinish to me.
Yeah.
But.
So what else? We had some corn there that was fantastic.
The corn on the cob was amazing.
British Columbia.
Totally not junk food, but
your corn is fantastic in British Columbia.
Yes, thank you, BC, for great corn.
Yep.
It was our last cob of corn before we left Canada for the next couple of years.
Yep. Which we'll get into later.
At some point.
Probably 2 or 3 episodes from now.
Maybe.
Yep. So then there was
we got the Oreo churro.
That was what I was going to go there. It was an interesting idea. I think it tasted good. I think it's neat to have chocolate in a churro. Because really the cream didn't really do anything. The idea of a chocolate churro is kind of nice. It's actually a nice flavor to go with it, because churros are generally kind of a sweeter thing. So having that slightly sort of cocoa flavor was nice. I didn't really think, wow, this is an Oreo. I sort of thought this is a chocolate churro with sort of white in the middle.
I liked the cream. I thought the cream added to the churro. I didn't think it was Oreo cream, which is good because I don't really like Oreo icing. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, yum.
Yeah.
That was really good. What else did we get?
I don't know if we got anything else.
we spent like $50.
Yeah, well then that's 4 things. That's the one thing about carnivals nowadays. It's like it used to be just cheap food. Now it's like, well, you're going to be poor.
No, we got a corn dog.
We got corn dog's a classic. Mm-hmm. You gotta get. They had the weirdest thing there. We didn't get it. It was a hot dog with a pickle around it, then corn dog.
Yeah, the pickle dog or whatever.
The pickle corn dog.
Yeah.
That seems a little much. I mean, I wanted to try it a little bit.
You got macaroni and cheese.
I got macaroni and cheese. There was sort of food trucky stuff.
Yeah.
You got some barbecue chicken type.
Yeah,
thing.
The barbecue chicken was okay.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that sort of thing, sort of the food truck, barbecue stuff.
The coleslaw with the barbecue chicken was really good.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually.
Yeah. The macaroni was, because I tasted some of it, was surprisingly good.
Yeah. That's one of the trends in food trucks. I really haven't. I think we were out of the country when that really took off, the macaroni and cheese thing. So they do it
well.
So I found that we didn't really experience it, so we didn't really sort of get to try it. So that was the first time I ever sort of got into the macaroni and cheese trendy food truck thing.
Yeah. Macaroni and cheese is harder than it looks. Like when you make it from scratch, like I do.
It's a balancing act.
It doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Right? Until it gets sort of like that gritty texture in the cheese. So I was really impressed.
Yeah, it was good. And I got a vegetable, like I got some broccoli with some onion, like
crispy onions
on it. It was good. 2 good flavors I like with that. So I think that was about it for the PNE. I mean,
I think so. I mean, there was
support your local farmers is what we learned.
We watched a pig market competition.
So future bacon.
So future food.
Yep.
And the pig races, which are not future food.
No. But yeah, so the PNE was a lot of fun. Was there anything else? You know, the one thing you can't sort of not talk about Vancouver is Vancouver has a huge Asian population. It's just massive. So when you go into the grocery stores, there's just so much, like, if you want to stay in North America and still sort of get like Japanese and Chinese foods and treats and stuff like that, Vancouver is a really great city to do that.
That's true.
And not just in, like, they have a Chinatown. You don't have to go to the Chinatown because the population is so huge. It's sort of in the regular markets, like the regular grocery stores and everything like that, you're going to find so much Asian stuff. It's just really good. Like
it's just like part of Vancouver.
Yeah, exactly. It's the regular culture is very sort of Asian. So there's just it's everywhere, and it's so cool and it's so much fun. So that's one of the great things about traveling there is a local won't even notice it because I think it's just become so much part of the culture.
Yeah, well, there's like in Ottawa.
Yeah.
There's an Asian aisle.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, it's just like, well, this is the rice and this is the Asian rice.
Exactly.
Like, it's all together on the shelf.
I think probably a lot of non-Asians have probably adopted a lot of Asian food.
I'm sure.
Just because it's just all the place.
So available.
The vegetables and stuff too, where you got a lot of sort of things that most North Americans may consider scary. There's a lot of that stuff there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like I saw bitter gourd, I saw all kinds of different radishes and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's a very sort of.
Well, it's becoming a little bit more normalized in Ottawa. I mean, it's always been there in Toronto.
I think in Canada it's becoming normalized because there was so much success within Vancouver to sort of start that. Like I know there's a big chain called TNT. I believe that started in Vancouver.
I don't know. My first TNT that I ever went into was in Edmonton, so that's.
But I think the first one was in Vancouver.
That's likely.
And so it's sort of spread over, and TNT is just basically it's like a full-fledged grocery store, but all Asian stuff.
And now owned by Loblaws.
Which is fine because they continue it.
Well, it's like
same.
Talk about Canadiana, right?
Yeah. So it's interesting because if you want to sort of look at Canadian cross culture, you can really just go to a grocery store in Vancouver and you just see how it's part of it.
And then there's the other manifestation of Canadian cross culture. Can we talk about the Mexi fries? Discuss.
Okay. If you ever want to argue with Allison really easily, just go to
Don't talk about my Mexi fries.
Go to a Taco Time and ask her to get you the tater tots.
They do not have tater tots at Taco Time. They have Mexi fries.
There's this place called...
They just look and taste like tater tots.
There's this restaurant called Taco Time that Allison has this great nostalgia for. It's a taco restaurant. It's like Taco Bell.
It's nowhere near like Taco Bell.
But it's that sort of... It's the idea of Taco Bell. It's fast food tacos. It's a chain. It's not like super high-end, like... you would get like say Burrito Boys or something like that, like those burrito things. It's not that end. It's just below that, but it's mall food.
High quality.
It's high quality mall food. There are very good tacos. I'll give them that. Like the chicken has like pieces of chicken and everything like that.
They're 3 times as expensive as Taco Bell and worth 10 times.
Okay, that's fair enough, but that's not hard either. That's a pretty low bar to go over.
Taco Bell is terrible.
So I mean that's fine. The tacos are great, but they have these things called Mexi fries. And Mexi fries are, like a potato thing that goes on the side of
I always get it with extra sour cream and salsa.
So there's sour cream and salsa. You can also get them with cheese and all kinds of stuff like that. They decorate them in
I just get the Mexi fries.
I saw poutine there, I think, when we were there, which was kind of weird. Mexi fries, poutine.
I didn't go there in anything.
Okay, but that's fine. And I enjoy them.
Poutine is Quebec.
But for those of you that are like, well, can you describe Mexi fries? Are they like French fries? I would say no. They're not really like French fries, except for the fact that they're potatoes. Are they like a hash brown you get at McDonald's?
Yes, they're like little cylindrical hash browns.
I would say that's closer. But if you were to say, are they like tater tots? I'd say they're exactly like tater tots.
But they're Mexi fries.
But they're called Mexi fries. It's pretty much semantics.
And the taco that I always get is now, I think, called a burrito. It's the super soft... The beef soft super, and I got Chris the chicken soft super because
I was completely happy with that.
Yeah, it's really good though, and they like load it up with sour cream and like nice crispy fresh lettuce and so good. And real cheese. Like, I mean, there's a place for like Taco Bell type cheese, and one of those places is on a Philly cheesesteak. But real cheese is so nice to have.
Actually, Taco Bell uses real cheese.
No?
I think so.
It was always the runny cheese before.
Okay, well, either way, Allison loves Taco Time. I don't mind Taco Time, so if there is one, I'll get it. But I would say that if I had Taco Time in a place where I lived, I probably would stop eating it. There'd probably be other options.
I would have it like once a month or twice a month. Well, once every 2 months or something. I'm not really a restaurant food eater, or especially fast food, but...
Taco Time.
Like, if I have a Taco Time in front of me, I'm going. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they don't have Taco Time where we live. Yeah. I mean, I would like to say they don't have it in Ontario, but they do have it in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, there is.
That's as far east as it comes.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing to say about Taco Time.
It's an American Pacific Northwest chain, so that goes up a little bit into Canada on the west.
Which is a weird thing to say. An American Pacific taco chain.
Tex-Mex.
Yeah. Nowhere near Texas or Mexico.
Washmex.
Nope.
Calimex.
I'm gonna give that.
I don't know. Like, seriously, it's like I think it started in Washington State or something like that. Maybe Oregon. I don't know exactly where, but it goes as far south as the very northern bit of California.
Yeah.
I had some in California, and then it disappeared the farther south I got.
Yeah, the closer you actually get to Mexico.
It can't be found.
If it's nowhere near Mexico or Texas, you're gonna find a Taco Time.
That's right.
So, I mean, that was a fun little thing. And in general, Vancouver was a great place to visit. Beautiful place. Stanley Park's beautiful.
And then of course across the Georgia Strait from Vancouver, you find Vancouver Island, which is the home of
Nanaimo.
And what do they make in Nanaimo?
Allison's favorite dessert, Nanaimo bars.
Yes.
We had a Nanaimo square while we were there, and we got in one of the markets.
We had two. We messed with the Nanaimo bar a little bit and got one of the wacky flavors that they make there. And it was okay.
Yeah.
Like if it hadn't had the name Nanaimo bar on it, I probably would have liked it a lot.
I gotta admit, I'm not a big Nanaimo bar fan.
Oh my god, I love Nanaimo bars. They're just so yummy.
It's too coconutty.
It's funny because I hate coconut,
the chocolate on the top is just kind of meh.
I love the chocolate on top. Oh my goodness.
It's always
I love the way that the chocolate on top is sort of like a counterpoint to the creaminess of the custard.
I hate the fact that it's a refrigerated dessert because it had the custard. So you end up putting the chocolate in the fridge and that ruins the chocolate flavor. So the chocolate on the top is always. I've never had
just nice
great chocolate.
Snappy. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, I don't mind them, and again, Allison wants one. I will get one.
In a perfect world, the Nanaimo bar would not have coconut in it for me, but you know what? I'll take it because, it's a Nanaimo bar.
Okay, so this is a bar that comes from
Nanaimo,
which is in Victoria, which is in.
It is not in Victoria. It's on Vancouver Island.
On Victoria.
Vancouver Island.
It's on Vancouver Island, and it has coconut and cocoa, things that have nothing to do with that region. So how do you explain how does such a bar that has so little
because some inventive genius took those ingredients that come from elsewhere and made perfection.
Fair enough. The Nanaimo bar is actually from a place called.
And Canada is all about diversity.
There you go. The answer to the question. It's all about diversity. It's why those grocery stores are amazing and why all that other fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, I think we can probably wrap up our.
Yeah, Vancouver. I don't think. Is there anything else? Oh no, Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah, there's a mystery donut that I didn't get. I'm trying to taste every donut I possibly can at Tim Hortons, and there was one there that slipped through my fingers, and it was called a
sugar loop.
A sugar loop, and we believe a sugar loop is a round donut covered in sugar.
And like the grainy crispy sugar.
Yeah, like the grainy crispy
not
sugar.
Not like the powdered sugar.
Yeah.
That's our guess. That's our best guess.
Yeah,
we looked it up on the internet, and that seems to be what it is.
So I tried. I saw one once sort of at a place. We didn't go in, and I thought, I'll try and get one later, and then never saw it again.
Yeah.
So it's a sometimes donut apparently in Vancouver and maybe a few other places.
I heard that there's a place in Mississauga you can get it.
Maybe, but
on TripAdvisor.
That will have to be a future project, maybe, of trying to find a sugar loop donut.
Yeah.
But I think that about wraps this up.
I think it does.
So Vancouver, it's a great place to visit. Great food. Really
amazing people.
Nice people. Really nice people. Beautiful nature. It's all around. It's great. So. Thanks for listening to another episode of Junk Food on the Road featuring Chris and Allison. As always, you can follow us on Twitter @CandyCritic or go to candycritic.org and find links to all of our other social media. You can also go to candycritic.org/junkfood, find old episodes of this podcast, as well as our show, Chris, Why Would You Eat That?, which we have some awesome episodes in the loop coming up soon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
month of May, a burly bum come a-hiking. He was walking down the lane through the sugar cane. He was looking for his liking. And as he strolled along, he sang a song of the land of milk and honey, where a bum can stay for many a day and he won't need any money. On the big rock candy mountain, there's a land that's fair and bright. The handouts grow bushes and they sleep out every night. Where the boxcars all are empty, sun shines every day. I'm a-going away where there ain't no snow or the sleet don't fall at the wind don't blow on the big rock candy mountain. On the big rock candy mountain. Hey! That's enough of that. That's enough. Whoa, 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 whoa. On the big rock candy mountain, you never have to change your socks. And little streams of alcohol come a-trickling through the rocks. All the railroad bulls at the tip of their hats, and the railroad bulls are all blind. There's a little lake of stew and a whiskey too. You can paddle all around it in your big canoe on the big rock candy mountain. On the big rock candy mountain, play. That's enough. That's enough. On the big rock candy mountain, all the jails are made of tin. You can bust right out again as soon as they toss you in. There ain't no sword and no shovels, axes, saws, or blades. Where they hung on a nail, the inventor of a jail. Where they hung the jerk who invented work. Where they boiled in oil, the inventor of toil. Where they hung on a nail, the inventor of a jail on a big rock candy mountain. On the big rock candy mountain, on the big rock candy mountain, play. Cigarette trees and the soda water fountain, where the bluebird sings and the lemonade springs. Up on the big rock candy mountain. On that big rock candy mountain. On the big rock candy mountain. Whoa.